Hi, thanks for joining me. So a little while ago I did my planning for 2017 and posted a photo of that up on my Facebook page and said that I'd talk to you and let you know how I went about my planning. So I thought I'd do that today. For 2017, I really wanted to do something very different to the way that I normally go about my planning. Now, normally for me, planning is very much about really striving, really identifying the goals that I want to go for, and then getting very structured in the way I go about identifying strategies and performance indicators and timeframes and people and responsibilities and all those sorts of things. So while that is really useful and it's worked for me for a very long time, I didn't want to do it this way for my New Sky consulting role this year. Instead, I wanted to be a bit more mindful this year and considerate of my own mindset, my own health and well-being this year. I really wanted to tune into how it is I wanted to feel for the 2017 year. And I think that that's partly because 2016 was just so frantic. There was a lot of activity, a lot going on, a lot of change, very rapid change, and there was a lot of work in my not-for-profit in getting set and ready and moving into a massive change. So I wanted to think more about how do I want to feel this year, and I started in that space, and I was a little bit guided by a new planning diary that I purchased to use, which I was also drawn to because I wanted to focus on a little different, me and how I felt, and wanted to feel better about the year. So I don't know if any of you have heard of Danielle Laporte, but I actually went and purchased her What Will I Do to Feel the Way I Want to Feel? And it's a diary that you use to do your planning, to schedule, and all those sorts of things. But it has this real focus on setting your goals and your intentions and what you actually do based on how it is you want to feel. So that's where I started my planning for 2017. So I started there, and I literally just got a pad of paper that was, this size paper. I got a whole heap of sticky labels and coloured pens, and thought, right, my family was away camping and I had the house to myself, and I felt really ready to go into myself and my mind and start that planning. So I started there. First of all, I sat down and I said, what are the core desired feelings that I want to feel for 2017? And some of the things, I came up with was I wanted more joy. I wanted more ease. I wanted to feel more at ease. I wanted to trust. That whole concept of trust really fascinates me, and the value of trust is really important to me. And I wanted to make sure that I anchored myself in the whole notion of trust in 2017, because it touches everything. It touches your relationship with your staff, the people that you support or service, the way you are with your family, the way you are with your organisation, the way you present yourself to your community. It touches everything, so it was really important to me to use that as an anchor emotion. I wanted to feel calm, connected, brave, strong, peace, organised, all those sorts of things. So I did that, and whether or not you include this in as part of your planning or not, I think it's a really good exercise to do. So that was mine. Lots of sticky little labels, and it was really, really useful. But from there, I sat down and I said, okay, and this is not very different to what I normally do. I looked at the goals I want to achieve for the year, and I limited the number of goals I would give myself. And I limited it this year for New Sky 3. So I identified 3 main things that I wanted to achieve, about where I wanted to be, based on how I wanted to feel for 2017. Now, you can set more than 3. You can set 5, you can set more. I'd be careful about setting too many, because then you might, lose focus and it might just be too much. But you can set as many as you like. But for me in New Sky, 3 was what I was going for. I also have goals for my not-for-profit, and got goals that are very project, and then they relate to projects. So I have additional goals that are related to my not-for-profit as well. So I was very mindful of that dynamic too. So I identified those 3 goals, and then the next step for me was I need to look at now, how do I want to achieve those goals? So strategy. So what are the strategies I want to use to achieve those goals? And I took particular notice of the strategies that that actually play to my core strengths. Those things that I know I do and can do really well, that would help achieve those goals. Because when I'm in that zone, that's like your genius zone, that's when you're most in flow, and that's when you're going to have that sense of, I knew that would help me get to my sense of how I want to feel. Because if I want to feel ease and joy, I need to be doing the things that bring me and that I'm naturally gifted at, and I'm in my flow zone at, to make those core desired feelings happen to reach the goals that I want to reach. So I hope that, if you know what I mean. Now, so when I was doing the strategies and I had my 3 goals, I took 3, for each goal, I took a piece of this size paper and all my post-it notes again, and I just started writing down the hows for each 3 goals, and just put the sticky notes on the goal that it relates to for how I was going to do it. So that it looked a bit like this on the goals. You'd see I'd have, sticky labels with a whole range of different things written on it about how I was going to do what I was going to do. So nothing fancy, just pieces of paper, sticky labels, and coloured pens. So once I figured out how I was going to do things based on my strengths and what came to me, I then needed to identify those strategies in the hows that would need somebody else's expertise or somebody else's genius zone and flow zone, the things that I wasn't particularly good at, or didn't really enjoy doing at all, that would, if I did them, I would end up hindering my progress, or stalling my progress, or procrastinating, or finding a reason not to do it. But if I was to find someone that could do those things, who loved it and was motivated by it, then all the better. Takes away all the barriers and all the excuses for why I can't get it done. So I also had a look at, because there are things that the hows that need to get done that I don't like doing and I'm not good at, that still have to be done. So I then identified what were those things and who could fulfill that for me, or where could I get that from, and assessed how necessary it was, and lots of things are. Okay, so from there I've got each of my goals, they've got strategies attached to them. Then it came time to actually planning it, like the actual plan, and this year I decided to focus on a 90-day planning cycle. So rather than go, all right, let's sort out the whole 12 months, the whole year, I just wanted to focus on 90 days or 3 months, or quarters, however you want to call it. So I just called it 90-day planning. So I focused on, where do I want to be by March? What did I want to be doing? How did I want to be feeling? And what would it actually look like in March, based on my bigger goals? My goals were for the whole year, but I just wanted to figure out where I wanted to be by March. And the reason I chose the 90-day was because things can change really quickly. dynamics, the things that crop up in life, all sorts of things. And I know that if I focused on that, I could work backwards from March to now, and then I could sit down at the end of March and then do another 90-day planning and have the same focus. So that's why I did that. I then wrote up a piece of paper again for January, February and March, and I looked at the strategies that I had set, and then I went about allocating when I would need to do those strategies by, and then break those strategies down into tasks that would need to be done each month for to lead up to March. So I'd actually start at March and say, this is where I want to be, this is how I want to feel, this is what I want it to look like, this is what I want to be doing by March, heading towards my bigger goals. And I worked backwards. So it's like, if I need to be there by then, what do I need to be doing in March? Then I need to go, well, to get there, what do I need to have done by February? Well, to get there, what would I need to have done in January? And I basically just identified week by week what needed to be done to get where I wanted to be by March. Once I'd done that, it was then time to actually schedule it. So I had a really nice big, colourful map of the next 3 months, but then it was time to schedule it. So scheduling, you can use whatever you like. I do like an online tool. I'm using this. This keeps me accountable to how do I want to feel, and identifying each time the 3 things I'm going to do each week to make sure that I feel the way I want to feel. So I fill out this to stay true to and center myself and really anchor myself to those feelings. And then I use Asana to do the scheduling of tasks. So more of the to-doing of stuff. I put it in Asana, and I made a project out of each of my goals, and then started putting in all those tasks that I'd identified and scheduling those in the calendar, assigning me to the tasks or the person or the outsourcing that I'd identified to a task, and a date based on that January, February, March calendar that I'd done. But I also had my regular tasks that I do, the things in business that have to get done anyway. I already had those in my Asana, so I just tidied them up a bit, and they're often recurring tasks, so I just tidied them up or identified things that I needed to improve and stuff like that and added those. So Asana is my tool of choice when it comes to scheduling. And I really like Asana because you can move things around, you can assign people, you can look at it in a calendar, you can look at it as a list. I actually quite like the calendar because I can see it at a glance where I'm at and what I've done and tick things off. I love being able to tick things off. It's almost like a little, yay! Oh, it just feels good when you get to tick off your to-do task. Just feels good. So I really like Asana, and it has it's free. You can get premium Asana, but I don't need to use that as yet. So I just use the free Asana, and that helps to keep me accountable and on track. So that in a nutshell is the process that I've used in my planning. That's it. Nothing really earth-shattering, groundbreakingly new, but that's what I've done, and it's been a good process so far, and so far I'm doing okay. Yeah, school holidays and all, I think I'm doing okay at sticking to my Asana and my tasks and my core desired feelings. So I wish you all the best in your planning, and would love to know more about how you go about things. And if there's anything else that I can help you with, let me know. Other than that, happy planning for 2017. And don't forget to look after yourself with how you want to feel. Bye.